Hey, everybody, runners and beer drinkers and kombucha drinkers and coffee drinkers and lovers of all things Portland. My name is Nathan Freeberg. You're watching another episode of the Oregon Brewery Running Series show. We're hanging out down here at Cartopia, which is a great food pod located at the intersection of 12th and Hawthorne, and right outside of Ladd's Addition. This is a great area. I'm hanging out here with Ben Calkins, the man of Happy Mountain Kombucha. He is. Can you tell me your title again? Because we were talking about that earlier, and he's like the boss man, basically.
Yeah. So it's a small company, so titles are kind of cheesy, but
still.
On my business card, I'm the CEO. I'm also one of the owners, one of the 4 owners.
Very cool. And are you also do you have anything to do with the actual making of the kombucha?
Yeah,
you do.
Yeah. So
okay.
I mean, again, small business. Hands on everything.
Jack of all trades.
Yeah,
exactly.
So we have Andrew, who's kind of our brewmaster now, but he and Kyle and I, and then Dom even, we're the owners, and we all kind of still do everything. But priority wise, I've kind of stepped out of the kitchen, and Andrew's kind of taken lead. And
you're driving around making deliveries.
Yeah,
which is where
deliveries, sales,
where he came from today, which is pretty fantastic.
Interviews.
Exactly. Just kind of doing everything. Well, if you're wondering why I'm interviewing Ben, it's because, well, A, this kombucha is delicious, and B, they have been at, I think, almost every one of our events this year.
Yeah, we've tried.
We've tried. If you haven't physically been there, you've had your big the
kombucha,
keg.
The most important thing has been
has been there. And we'll kind of get into this later, but one of the most common pieces of feedback I've gotten, because I've watched a lot of people drink your kombucha, is, wow, I don't like kombucha, but this is delicious.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
And it's like, huh, all right. And I would agree.
Thank you.
Before we get too far, you're welcome. Before we get too far into this, we have a couple discount codes. So if you'd like to register for one of our races, one of our runs, they're not races because we don't time them, you can use discount code HMK5 to get $5 off. And if you want to run for free, you can use code that I'm going to give you in a couple minutes so that you actually watch this and understand.
Got it.
But we'll have 5 free codes for anybody that wants to run for free with us at any of our events. So Ben, your day has been already filled with deliveries and other CEO stuff. What does an average day for you look like in the life of a majority owner in a small business in Portland?
Yeah.
Kind of doing everything.
I think that's the exciting part, is that every day it's different. So, it's a combination of sitting at a coffee shop on email, doing emails, designing labels, making sure all of our stuff is ordered, making sure that the orders have been registered and then delivered.
Actually fulfilled, right?
Fulfilled, making sure that we're being aware of what kind of demand we have and forecasting that.
Okay.
Some branding, some marketing.
Which is what this is.
Yeah. Seeking out other events, looking into kind of making sure that the accounts that we currently have, some of ours upper left roasters, where we got these bottles,
exactly,
are happy and everything's working. One of the things that we really take into consideration is our relationship building.
Sure.
So we need to make sure that everybody's happy, everybody loves the product. You said it's not as bad as most people think the kombucha is, and it's because
people say it's delicious. They don't like other kombucha. Yeah. They think this is delicious. So
and a lot of that comes from us listening to our customers and figuring out what they love about kombucha, what they don't love about kombucha, and trying to make ours exactly what they want.
Gotta give the people what they need. Exactly. I love that. Well, let's so we're going to sample some of this stuff here.
Yeah.
I don't know if you want to go in depth.
Some of our peach blossoms so the cups wouldn't fly away.
Good.
It's a little windy.
Good idea. It is a little windy down here, so apologize about that. All right, so this is a peach. Cheers.
It's our peach blossom.
That is good. Can I see the...
Please.
So, peach blossom kombucha. Just going to read... Oh, well, I want you just tell me about it instead of me reading the bottle.
So, a little background on our kombucha first. All of our kombuchas
Wait, how about before there? What is kombucha? Maybe we'll just start there.
Yeah.
I know what it is.
Start from the ground up.
Yeah, let's start from the ground up, and then we'll make it all the way to peach blossom.
So kombucha is a fermented tea. It's been around for X thousands of years. Right. Nobody really knows. Do
you know who invented it? Was it Chinese? Most things have been around.
It's probably China, but China says they invented it. Russia says they invented it. It's one of those things that's been around for so long that it's really hard to trace. But it's been around for a long time. And one of the cool things about kombucha is this isn't something we could just create. You can't take yeast and bacteria and put it together. It's a culture that's been continued over time. So this is just from another kombucha that we have brought with us.
Interesting.
So that's kind of cool.
But there had to be an original, a Big Bang kombucha, right?
Who knows?
Nobody knows?
Yeah. So yeah, we.
Oh, interesting. I did not know that part of it. Okay.
And again, more on the sales side of the business. I need to do some more research, but I'm pretty sure that's the story that I've been told.
Okay. I'll go with that.
Yeah. So kombucha is fermented tea full of probiotics, amino acids, vitamins, minerals, and basically it's a healthy tea because of all that good bacteria that gets introduced to your gut. And helps boost your immune system, everything like that. So what makes our peach blossom and our flavors unique is we use white peony tea as a base for all of our teas.
Is that uncommon?
A lot of companies
in the kombucha world.
Yeah,
or?
A lot of kombuchas are made with green and black tea, or combinations, or with mate. All of ours are white tea based. Our spice chai also has a little bit of Chinese black tea. And we do that because we like the light, bright taste that it comes with.
Well, that's how that impacts the flavor, is it? Okay.
It's one of many different variables.
I'm sure, yeah.
Use.
It's like beer or cider. There's all kinds of variables. Yeah.
The other thing that we do is there's no juice in any of our kombucha. So.
There is in other kombucha?
Yeah.
Okay.
Most kombuchas are flavored with juice. So they'll make what's like an original flavored kombucha, and then they'll just the tea base, and then when it's finished, they will custom flavor it with juice. So what happens when you do that is you're diluting the health benefits. You're also increasing the sugar content because sugar is in juice.
Right. Fructose is a natural sugar, but it's still sugar.
Yeah.
Right.
And so we've decided we want to try to make as low sugar of a kombucha as possible, and undiluted. We want you to have all the health benefits. So to flavor our kombucha, we have soaked our tea, our white tea, in extracts, or used a combination of extracts, herbs, flowers, and spices. And
wow, that's very natural.
Yeah. And so it's just pure, all natural extracts, and we use for example, our peach has a combination of orange, tangerine, and peach extract.
Okay.
In comparison though, our lavender white is just white tea and lavender flowers. So there's no extracts and there's no fruit.
I see a little bit of organic cane sugar.
Yeah, so it's got organic cane sugar, and we need to update our labels, but everything except for the extracts, which are just little bits of it, is organic.
Right. There's only 4 grams of sugar in this whole bottle, which some of that is probably the natural stuff.
6 in the bottle, 4 per 8 ounces.
Oh, 6 in the. Oh, gotcha. Yeah. Yes, 1.5. Yeah. 1.5 servings.
But yeah,
awesome.
So and that's one of the reasons. And another reason we do that is it keeps the introduction of sugars consistent as possible. So if you get a pound of berries, that doesn't mean that the sugar content in the berries is always going to be consistent. And so if you put those berries in your kombucha, you're varying the fuel for the yeast, because the yeast converts the sugars into ethanol.
Which then changes the whole whole product, right?
And the key in a live moving kombucha is to keep it as consistent as possible. And so by reducing the amount of variables that you have, you can control the flavor. So when you get our bottle of peach today and in 6 months, hopefully they're almost identical.
They taste the same.
Whereas if you add juice or other things, you start getting the scobies flowing around because you're feeding the kombucha.
Oh yeah, you guys don't have those floaties in these, do you?
Not always.
No,
I mean,
always. Sometimes
they're in there. They're very well strained.
Okay.
All kombucha has, if it's live,
sure,
it's raw,
a little bit in there. But I've had some kombucha that will remain nameless, but it's got like hunks of stuff. It looks like little animals.
And those are good for you.
Floating around.
Those aren't. They're in here. It's just they aren't exactly appetizing.
Right. And if you're a newbie kombucha consumer like myself, then maybe that is a little bit off-putting. What are some of you talk about gut health and other stuff. One of the things that I've been fascinated to learn about is all the health benefits to there.
Yeah.
I mean, you talk about your gut just sort of in generic terms, but it's basically everything.
Yeah.
Like stomach, intestines, the whole digestive, like that's
totally
all that stuff, right? And
so they're finding out that the gut has, and again, no background in this, just from what I've picked up.
Sure. This is consult your physician before
talk to your doctor, please,
before considering this to be fact or law.
Yeah. I can tell you it tastes good.
Yes,
I can guarantee that.
So what we know to this point is
so, but kombucha's full of probiotics, amino acids, vitamins, minerals, all good stuff. The bacteria, though, the introduction to good bacteria to your gut, we're finding out the gut is basically the powerhouse of your immune system. It is what balances your overall health. So there's a lot of Chinese culture calls kombucha a cure-all, and the main reason for that is because of its ability to boost your body's defense system.
It's kind of your natural immunity to whatever.
Yeah, your immune system.
So it's kind of like Guinness. As Guinness is to the Irish, kombucha is to the rest of the world.
Exactly. And to the Irish as well.
And to the Irish, sure. We don't need to exclude them.
So it's they're finding they've got more, your gut has more like nerves than your spinal cord, and like,
oh wow.
Again, I think it's
probably
like
science. A big asterisk hanging up
here,
right?
Exactly. But it's a lot, and they're finding out that the better you treat your gut, the better your overall health will be. And so that's one of the reasons kombucha is kind of blown up over the last few years. Another reason is just people don't want sugar. Yeah. And there are some sweet kombuchas out there, but even those aren't even close to what a soda is. And they have probiotics, hopefully. So there's a lot of really good reasons not to drink soda and to drink this. Well, I've soda companies.
Yeah.
Not sponsored.
Okay. Big soda is going down anyway.
Yeah.
Well, and I think, so you talk about the health benefits later, just with your digestive system and your immunity and all that stuff, but it's also just refreshing.
Yeah.
Like, it tastes good. It's a good source of hydration.
Totally.
It's, especially after a run or doing
caffeine.
something. Yeah, doing something active. It's delicious.
That's one of the things that, again, I want to very much stress is it does have some great health benefits for you.
Right.
But I don't go around making the claims that this is a vitamin that you should
You're
have.
You're not a snake oil salesman?
Yeah, exactly. Yeah. Yes, exactly.
Cure everything that ails you, but
remember
it's good for you, though.
That arm you lost, this will grow back.
Right, exactly.
Well,
the last time I saw you, speaking of arms, your arm was in a sling.
Yeah.
You had some surgery, I think, on your shoulder.
The surgery was sponsored by Happy Mountain Kombucha.
Nice.
And
I'm guessing you're better because you've been drinking this.
10 times faster. I had a shoulder surgery, and I don't know, maybe it's helped.
Maybe.
I'm not going to make that claim.
No, that's totally fine.
But again, there's definitely a lot of reasons to drink it from a health side, but really what we've tried to do is make it not really about the health benefits, but more of the flavor, the taste, and there's only so much liquid you're going to be able to drink in a day. If you can drink ours instead of a soda, you're already doing better for your health.
Oh yeah, or even a like a sports drink,
which is a soda,
which is basically a soda without.
Carbonation.
Yeah, exactly. That's what I was going to say. Read my mind. I'm going to try this one now.
Yeah.
What is this?
This is our lavender
white.
It's the simplest of all of our kombuchas. For the most part, they're all very simple and clean. This is it's lavender flowers and white tea. It's my personal favorite.
Oh yeah, I think you've had this at several of our runs.
Yeah.
This is very good. What's the other one that you've had?
So we have a Honeydew Melon, which is great for this weather.
Yes.
Which they don't sell at upper left yet. Working on it.
Okay.
But we also have spice chai, dragon fruit, ginger root, and these two.
These are good.
So six flavors.
6 flavors. Okay.
I think it's
it's I keep saying this, but there's something like if you're gonna drink something.
Yeah.
You may as well drink something that's good for you. That tastes good. That's low in sugar.
Totally.
That's really a benefit to you going in.
Yeah.
I want to sort of deviate a little, not a little bit, maybe a lot.
Let's deviate.
So that's kombucha.
Yeah.
I'm curious about Happy Mountain Kombucha now.
Okay.
Like Happy Mountain is a company.
Yeah.
Your motto, your mission statement is to fuel and inspire the adventurous spirit of those who value their health and the outdoors by brewing a kombucha that everyone can enjoy.
Yeah, nice, right?
Well,
I wrote that myself.
Did you really?
Yeah.
I love it. And I think, kind of having an outdoor adventure themed, business model motto isn't necessarily, new, especially in Portland, but talk about that. What does that mean? Why is that important to you to kind of inspire that adventurous spirit in people?
Yeah. So one of the other roles of my job is like I said, I'm the CEO, but I've guided the way this company is basically because it's me. I'm going to be completely honest. I was going to school at Portland State to be in the outdoor and athletic industry when I stumbled across this tea working with Dom at Tea Chai Tay.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I really wanted to go into the outdoor community. I really wanted to be it's one of the reasons I moved to the Pacific Northwest. I always grew up hiking and camping and being in the outdoors, and the farther north I go, the more at home I feel.
Where are you from originally?
The Bay Area, San Francisco.
Oh, okay.
So I grew up in Northern California and just always spent pretty much every weekend up in Tahoe. And then I moved here and I was like, this makes sense.
Yeah.
I like this.
This works. This jives with who you are.
Exactly. And so when I was in school, I saw this opportunity with Happy Mountain, and Dom was generous enough to really give me all the opportunities I wanted to run with the company. And I noticed that a lot of other companies were going for the, kind of, to put it bluntly, the hippie yoga movement, which we love and I'm part of, but is very much a saturated market for the kombucha industry. And I also thought it was really narrowing the people that felt like they could approach kombucha. A lot of it also came from the four owners. We love to camp. We like to be outdoors. And with kombucha being a healthy drink, we want to fuel you by keeping you healthy, keeping you active, so you can keep doing the things you love, whether it's hiking a mountain or taking care of your kids or whatever that mountain is.
Which is kind of the same thing. They're both
or
equally
hike
as
a mountain with kids.
Exactly.
Tire them out. But no, it's one of those things where we really want to keep people doing the things they want to do, and we're lucky enough to be in the Pacific Northwest, which is one of the most beautiful places in the world.
Easily.
Yeah,
Easily.
Not to segue too much, but it's why we have mountains from around the Northwest on our bottles. We did that because we kept changing our labels to try to make them look stand out, but really embrace that outdoor lifestyle that we wanted to be part of. And finally we're like, why don't we just take those beautiful things in our backyard and put them on our bottles?
They're overrated.
Right?
Yeah. That's cool. What do you know which ones these are off the top of your head?
So on every bottle, we actually have
it's right on the side.
The geographical coordinates. We didn't put the name of the mountain. You got to look them up. But the geographical coordinates of the mountains on there, as well as the Instagram handle of the photographers. So we work with local photographers from around the Northwest.
I'm gonna look this up right now.
Do you want me to tell you what that is, or
I'm gonna look it up. Let's see what happens. Yeah. So I don't even know if I'm doing this.
Please be right. Please.
Doing this right here, 794 West. Let's see if I'm pushing Google's limits.
Yeah.
This is something on an island.
No.
Maybe. Did I do this right?
Probably not.
Probably not.
I've noticed that if you don't use...
Oh yeah, that's not even close to right. Where is that?
I don't know.
In Maine. No, that's not right.
Yeah.
Okay. Just tell me. Well,
that is Dragontail Peak up in the Enchantments. And so, and then this is on our Peach Blossom, we have Artist Point looking at Mount Baker.
Ooh, that's cool.
So I'll double check those numbers later and make sure they're right. But
no, I believe you. I'm just not typing this in correctly.
Yeah.
I think I climbed Mount Baker. It's up in Seattle, right?
Yeah.
Or north of Seattle.
North of Seattle, yeah.
Yeah, I totally climbed that. This one right here?
Yeah. So that's a place called Artist Point. It's from an amazing Seattle photographer named Joe Tobiason. So if you ever need wedding photography or just anything awesome.
That's awesome. Right here, Mount Baker. Yeah, a buddy.
Shout out to Joe.
Me and a couple buddies climbed it, and it was beautiful weather until the day we summited, and then of course
that's how it works.
Of course, it's like, which tangent side note? I've run 7 marathons, and I think summiting that thing in like waist deep snow was one of the most difficult things I've ever done. I'm most exhausted.
You should run a marathon in waist deep snow. See how that works.
See how it compares?
Yeah,
I like it.
Uphill,
uphill, tied to 4 or 5 other people.
Yeah.
And then when they stop a little bit, you get jerked forward and
also wearing a lot of gear.
Yeah, tons of gear, crampons, gaiters.
Yeah, you should run just a marathon in gaiters. That'd be great.
That would be good. I wouldn't get anything in my shoes.
No,
it'd be very fun. Well, I love So yeah, I love that. I've done some backpacking myself, and it's always fun to see. Well, backing up even more, that kind of, would you call it, the yoga granola crowd or something?
I didn't say that, but
you didn't. I did.
Yeah, the yoga hippie.
Hippie, that's what it was. The yoga hippie.
Come from hippies. So
the yoga, like, so I when I first kind of became aware of kombucha a couple years ago, that is definitely the stereotype that I sort of had in my mind. And then my wife started drinking kombucha pretty regularly, and then I kind of learned more about it, and it definitely seems like it's moving. I don't know, maybe most things move to the mainstream,
of course,
at some point, but you know, those yoga hippies were onto something clearly, and it seems like what you're trying to do is make it more accessible to the I don't want to say the masses, but the masses, to people that don't consider themselves those fitting into that stereotype, maybe.
Yeah, totally. And you know, I mean, I think it's also we're riding a really convenient wave of the health revolution of people understanding more about what we're putting in our bodies, not wanting processed foods, wanting more raw and vegan foods, things that are necessarily aren't what our parents and grandparents ate.
Yeah, not super processed.
Exactly.
Yes.
And so we're writing that, as well as the awareness of sugar and what it does to your body. And so conveniently, we have a low sugar, not too sweet, not too vinegary kombucha that is appealing. So people have kind of grabbed onto it. Plus, it just tastes awesome. Did I mention that?
I don't think we've mentioned that yet. If you're just tuning in, this kombucha tastes amazing. Yeah. It's so delicious.
So, and all the flavors have the same 4 grams sugar per 8 ounces.
That's awesome.
They're all pretty much the same recipes, just different flavor profiles.
Oh.
So you'll get, again, consistency. We're trying to be in the same.
Right. And you guys are not located too far from here. I guess you're in Division, like way
cheap rent. Yeah.
Way out east.
Way
right?
out. Yeah. We've got a little brewery out there that's about the size of this tent that we're in right now.
Okay.
No joke. But we are in the process of looking for a larger brewery. So
gotcha.
One of the other things that I've been running around with my head chopped off doing.
Looking at commercial rental properties? Or
yes, exactly.
Where? Like just anywhere? Like all over the place?
Anywhere we can afford.
Yeah.
So, you know, that's another thing that we've been pretty excited and proud about, is it's 4 of us that own it. We're pretty proud that we've kind of come from nothing. And
it's a classic American story, right?
Yeah, you know, I
love it.
Started from the bottom.
So what, you said you had a background in like outdoor stuff. What do you have any like business?
I have some business experience in the food industry. I just had a desire to be in the outdoor industry.
Gotcha.
And then somehow I
follow your passion.
I wanted to merge the two. I also love the excuse to, like, Wednesday, and this is where work wasn't too bad, was I was hanging out at Evo Sports, where we end up giving we give out kombucha there. If you ever want free kombucha, Evo, another shout out. They have
on Wednesdays
every day.
Oh, every
free
day.
On tap beer and kombucha. Yeah, write that down. So you can go there
and sports. Yeah,
just go out, hang out with them. But they were doing it was International Skateboard Day, and so we were just hanging out, cooking hot dogs and drinking kombucha.
That's awesome. Where are they located?
They're on I think it's Oak. No, it's right off MLK.
Okay.
But anyways, so you know, I love the excuses to be in the outdoor industry as well as the alternative sports industry. So, you know, I have a longer term dreams of getting a lot of people that, like myself, used to skateboard and snowboard but don't have a lot of friends that I go out with that do that anymore but want to connect with them. Photographers, people that want to go on a big hike or go hike Mount Baker. We want to create a hub where we can bring people together to find others that know that they want to do that and kind of expand their networks a little bit. So
that's cool. Building a community.
Exactly. And that was one of the biggest things for me, from my experience with the last food companies I worked with, was the idea was sell, get in a lot of places, grow the company. My personal goal is to build the community, create the kombucha. Hopefully they can go hand in hand.
So do you think, this is interesting that we're talking about this now, because I've asked a lot of brewers this question as well, that they've talked about that, building community, etc.
It's totally important.
So I'm curious, is kombucha just sort of the best vehicle, and I guess the outdoors, you found to do that? Like, if you had stumbled into something else, you would maybe be into that, but this is what you're doing,
this
and
was the
vehicle.
This was the bag of lemons I found, and I made some kombucha out of it.
When life gives you a bag of lemons,
make kombucha.
Make kombucha.
Exactly.
You should put that on a T-shirt.
Yeah.
Nice.
I can't say enough how I literally stumbled into this.
Tell me about this bag of lemons. I'm curious about that story.
We're on Facebook Live, right?
Yeah.
I found an ad on Facebook that Dom, the tea who owns Tea Chai Te, was looking for help selling tea, and I just had to happen to have experience selling food products in the past. Thought I'd go see what it's like, and Dom and I really hit it off, and he just gave me a lot of opportunity to take this and run with it.
Was this a crucible moment in your life? You're like, what am I going to do? Oh, selling tea. Let's check this out.
It was more of a, while I'm in school, what should I do?
Okay.
And so, that, and then he gave me so much freedom to kind of run with it, because he was busy with, he's got a family and 2 tea shops, maybe a third coming out. And he gave me the freedom, and so that's why I was saying earlier,
that's awesome.
This is my brand.
Yeah.
Like, I've literally made it
This is your baby.
as much
This
as
is
what I would want a company to be. And I think that shows. I get a lot of people that have talked to me about our Instagram, and we're doing a giveaway right now, and I try really hard to be as authentic and as personal to myself as possible. I even went on my own personal Instagram and told people to follow me on Happy Mountains, because I personally don't post as much anymore, because Happy Mountain became my Instagram.
Yeah, it's your life. It's your
and that's we're small right now. It's 4 of us, so 5 of us. So it's one of those things.
You wouldn't know that though. I mean, you guys are in Laughing Planet. You guys are in
we just got into some new seasons.
Did
Market
you really?
Choice.
Okay. I saw that. Right over where
Belmont
are we? Right, the Belmont one that
Green
just opened
Zebras,
up.
and those are great for us. One of the other things, speaking of community, that we've done is we've been around for about 2.5 years now, and for the first 2 years, we focused on the upper left roasters, the coffee shops, the Laughing Plants. We call them on-premise, so coffee shops and restaurants, because for me, that's where community is built. That's where those relationships are built. Grocery is just where you give someone a really easy outlet for them to go buy. And there's great relationships you build in grocery as well, but we're more interested in being in your local neighborhood coffee shop than we are in Safeway.
Right. Because I think there's more of a draw. There's more of a community connection there when it's totally something different. Do you have to do much education in terms of
I was part of my 20th part of my job, education.
20th. Because what I'm curious about is I was talking to somebody yesterday that worked for this large what is it called, like a cider brokerage, and he said they not only have to educate, the person at the business who is buying the stuff, but then figuring out how do you actually educate the consumer on it as well. So have you been involved with much of that at all those different levels? I mean, I've watched it, part of what
that's what I'm doing right now.
That's what we're doing right now.
No, yeah, totally. We joke and say the most common misconception we have, or the most common reaction we get to our kombucha is that's not as bad as we thought it was going to be. And it's because people have had their friend's basement kombucha and they think there was a mushroom on it, and which there's no mushrooms. It's a culture, not a fungus. And
it means something different.
Yeah, they're different. And it's one of those things where we can nerd out for a little bit, and I can tell you about what it is.
I like nerding.
But the thing is, a lot of people are afraid of, once you start nerding out, they're like, oh, that's a complicated product. And that's where we go back to.
That. No. So is beer?
It is. But people don't want to know. I'm a beer guy. I love beer. I'll nerd out with you. But there's a lot of people that don't necessarily want that. They just want to know if it tastes good or not.
Right.
And that's kind of what my sales pitch has turned into. It used to be, let me tell you about why this is good for you, and why it tastes good, and what we do to make it different. And if you want to talk about that, I'm happy to. But there's a lot of people that just want to. Well, we can. Well,
okay.
Got a couple more hours after this. But
absolutely.
It's the flavor, it's the taste that really grabs them. Then they become interested.
I feel like most products do come down to that very black and white. Does it taste good or not?
Yeah.
And they don't necessarily. And then, so if it does taste good, then they want to know what goes into it.
Yeah.
Because if it didn't taste good, it wouldn't care how healthy it is.
You have to get them excited first. Then they're interested.
There is that, yeah.
It's hard to get people excited about something they already have these, misconceptions about. And plus, who wants to drink a mushroom tea?
A nasty tasting tea, exactly. Tell me about the name.
Happy Mountain Kombucha.
Happy Mountain.
It's kind of.
I know where kombucha came from, but
it's. This is probably more of a question for Dom.
Okay.
I think his kids came up with it when they were going to Mount Hood once.
That's what I thought. I read that his son. Something about
Yeah, they were headed on a camping trip, and from what I know, I wasn't there. But
You're not his son.
I'm not his son. No, I don't think so.
You don't think so?
Yeah. But I guess they were going to Mount Hood, and they said they're going to Happy Mountain, and it kind of stuck, and they liked it. And
wow, just that simple.
We also like it. I think it, from as I've evolved into the company, I think that the feeling you get, the happiness, it's kind of the energy that we like to put off. Nobody's like, oh, I hate that happy name. So happy it's something that we got to remind ourselves sometimes to be, and it's something that we want to, kind of support. And then the mountain part, we want to be an outdoor company. We
Do you have this in camping containers? Glass would be a little tricky to take in the backcountry.
We have a very small R&D room that we're working on that we have some things.
Anything you can tell us?
As soon as we have a lot more money, there will be some very cool...
So donate now, and you could take Happy Mountain Kombucha on your next summit of Rainier or wherever you're going.
Let's put it this way. Glass is complicates being in the outdoors. The glass and the outdoors aren't always best friends, so we've got some other things we're working on.
Gotcha. Okay.
But
maybe
very
cardboard.
hard. Yeah, I wish. The problem is glass is the best vessel for kombucha because it is a live product. It's constantly fermenting, so it's creating more pressure, and glass is one of the only things that can hold the amount of pressure that you need. And so if you
put it in like a Capri Sun package, it would explode
real quick. Even in a refrigerator. And so, when you're camping, it's not being refrigerated.
Right.
And so you also have to take that into account, that it will get warmer. There's a lot of things that'll go into it, but
it's science.
It's science. We got some science people helping us.
Good.
Working on it.
Let's get the science.
The internets.
That science is involved. Well, thanks for taking the time, Ben. I want to ask you a couple more questions, then I'll let you get on with your owner business.
Yeah.
So, how long have you lived in Portland now?
I've been here. I'm almost 7 years.
Wow. Okay.
Old in Portland years.
Okay. Very cool. So you've been here long enough to hopefully answer some of these questions. So I want to ask you some kind of
test?
rapid. No, maybe. Right. Yes, this is a test.
Okay.
Some kind of rapid fire questions about some of your favorite Portland things.
Okay. I can do that.
All right. So first of all, we'll start in the beer realm because this is the Oregon Brew Running Series after all. Oh, and if you want to run with us, I almost forgot. HMK free is the free coupon code where you can plug that in and run with us for free. HMK, Happy Mountain Kombucha, free, all one word. So hopefully you guys watched, I don't even know where we're at here in this, 20 minutes, 30 minutes. Okay, do you have a favorite beer or brewery or, and we'll even expand it, beer-related event?
Oh, I have so many.
But you can only pick one. I'll let you pick two.
You just asked me 3 different questions.
I know. So I was going to say you can pick 2, a favorite beer, a favorite brewery, could be the same, and then a favorite beer-related event. So I guess that's 3.
Beer-related event. I feel like the last one is a kind of a shoe-in.
Yeah.
There's this running series that I really like.
No one's ever said that. Thank you. That is pretty
awesome.
That is pretty great.
Event.
Which will be at Migration on July 22nd.
Exactly.
Lucky Lab on July 29th.
Yeah.
Hopworks on August 5th, and Laurel Wood on August 12th.
Yeah. So I'm not gonna pick sides with a brewery. I've got a lot of breweries that I will upset if I pick one.
Fair enough.
And it's also just that it's like picking my favorite kombucha. I hate that question.
Exactly. Okay.
So I will say my favorite beer place to get beer in Portland, hands down, my second office, sometimes my first, is Roscoe's on 82nd, or on Stark and 80th. They have some of the best beer available. They get all these exclusives. It's a cool bar.
It's a pub. Oh, it's a bar.
It's a bar.
Okay.
And they've been around for a long time.
Okay.
One of the things that I really like is they have a instead of having one of these live boards, they have a chalkboard with a live stream, so you can just go on and see exactly what's on tap.
Really? Okay.
What's also cool is the food's great. They've got a bunch of great southern food, but if you wait until after 4, they also own the sushi restaurant behind, so you can get really good sushi. Wow. And they've got $1 oysters during happy hour. It's one of those places where
I've never heard of
Roscoe's. It's all the things you want. But some of the beer that they get is amazing.
Okay.
From all over the country.
You said it's 82nd and Stark?
I think it's 80th and Stark.
80th and Stark.
Yeah.
Okay.
So
out.
highly recommend Roscoe's. Big shout out to them.
Check it out.
They have allowed us to spend hours and hours and hours and hours with laptops out, taking up way too much space.
Roscoe's
It's where
Bar.
half of Happy Mountain was conceived.
I'm going to look this up here. Roscoe's Tavern?
Yep. Yeah, there it is. It's great. It's really cool, and the people
Wait,
are wonderful.
That one's in Chicago. Never mind, that's not it.
Oh,
I'll find.
Not there.
There it
I'm
is.
sure that
Roscoe's
one's great,
PDX.
too.
Yeah. All right. So,
So-
what's your favorite? I guess beer event, Oregon Brew Running Series. Do you guys do a lot of? I know you said you do a lot of events.
Yeah.
Are you at like other festivals and like?
We're
'cause Portland's
trying.
got so much going on this summer.
we get a lot of requests. Unfortunately,
I bet.
small team,
Right.
and I don't sleep. So, and
Why
you know,
bother?
and I recently had shoulder surgery. So all these things
Yeah.
have really, I've had to pick and choose which events I really want to go to.
Exactly. Which is we appreciate whatever ones you're at. So thank you.
We want to do a lot more. I was actually talking to a guy yesterday who it showed interest. Other thing, great people have showed such interest in wanting to be part of this company. I have a lot of friends that, and that's one of the things I think has shown what we're doing is working. We have had people come up to us and say, "I don't know what you're doing, but I want to be part of it." And
Wow.
and
Just based on seeing you online, and
Yeah.
Facebook and Instagram, and
and,
whatnot?
and just people that we've been, that have been selling our kombucha at their restaurants or coffee shops, and so we've had people come out and help us bottle that don't even want to get
Wow.
paid. We pay our employees, but it's also one of those things. It's like
if you don't want to get paid,
it shows that we have
Sign up.
something that people like,
Wow.
and that's really important to me.
I think that speaks more to your culture than your
Yeah.
product,
Yeah.
maybe, because they're
hand in hand.
it's all of it. It's all of it. Yeah, exactly.
The culture and the community are almost secondary, or first to the product.
Yeah.
The product is secondary because it's a good product, but we could always make another product if we still have that
exactly
community
totally
that wants to support
right.
us.
Well, and that's yeah, I could go off on that for a while.
Yeah.
I won't.
So let's go to beer.
Okay.
Favorite beer? I'm sours lately. Have just
Me too.
It's really kind of
I agree.
blown up. We did that event at the Commons.
Yeah.
And their Myrtle, really nice.
Especially the citrus myrtle.
Yeah.
which is a very seasonal beer. But
Yeah, see, I
that's
don't like to choose. I
really
just have
good.
both.
Okay.
But no, they're great, and it's I love, and I think that's another reason people are really being drawn to kombucha is it's like it's almost a sour beer, but
Yeah.
without the alcohol.
Right.
Day beer, as I call it.
Yeah. Can you? So I've read that some kombucha you can get drunk off of. Is
Yeah.
that true or is that a myth?
So kombucha right now, a lot of people think of kombucha as a coffee. You've got a coffee, cool, I'll take it. Whereas it is way more like beer. There are so many different varieties. Some have a lot of sugar, some have no sugar, some have a bunch of juice, no juice, some are dry, some are sweet. One of the things that is going to start happening, and there's a company down in San Diego that's starting to move up here called Boochcraft. They use brewer's yeast and pitch their kombucha, add more sugar, do a heavy secondary fermentation, and get it up to about 8% alcohol.
Wow.
So that's a whole nother world that's going to start opening up, is this high alcohol
Interesting.
kombucha.
Huh. Does it taste?
Haven't had it.
Way more- okay.
Can't vouch for it. I'll tell you in a few months when they
Sure.
get into the market. But they have that's a whole nother thing that's going to happen. And I think we're going to start seeing a lot more places, instead of having their one kombucha on tap, they're going to have 5 or 6, because there's so many different flavor profiles and taste profiles that can come out of kombucha.
Unlimited, right?
Yeah.
Yeah.
So,
Fascinating.
but our stuff, no, can't get drunk off.
No. Yeah.
I've tried.
Well, yeah. You've tried.
Drink a lot of it.
I imagine if you're sampling and doing everywhere else. All right. Do you have a favorite place to eat in Portland? I'll just leave it that vague. Could be a food cart. Could be a fancy restaurant.
It's so hard. It's
Could be Chipotle.
my job is going around making friends with all these restaurants and coffee
Right,
shops
right.
and breweries. Favorite place to eat and drink.
How about the last place that you went to eat out? Just whatever the last place was. That
Guero right now.
You like
I think Guero is my
Guero.
favorite right now.
Where's
Guero
that?
number 1 Tortas. It is off.
Guero.
It's like Gleason, and it's between, I think, Gleason and Burnside on 30th. And they have this bowl. It's like $9 to $11 depending on what you add on it. It's so much food. It's so good. Their meat is really. It's so good.
Check that out.
Highly recommend it. That's been my kind of driving around like crazy, and then I get really hungry because I haven't eaten since breakfast, and it's almost 2 o'clock, and I'll
Exactly.
find
You've
myself
gotta-
there.
Oh,
So-
yeah. It's a sandwich
And they don't
place?
even sell my kombucha, so this is a straight.
Oh, wow. This is straight.
the food
a
is
straight
delicious.
Plug.
Yeah,
Tortas. This is a
number one tortas. Yeah. The other place, and maybe I'm just
Maybe that's where I'm going.
maybe I'm
for
getting
lunch
hungry.
today.
Tortalandia, they've got great burritos.
Tortalandia. Where's
Yeah.
that?
Both torta places. Weird. That is on Foster and 50th, 60th.
Over there.
Somewhere in that
Okay.
area. But also great burritos, great margaritas.
Is that
Also
part of
doesn't
the
sell my kombucha.
another plug for them?
Working on
maybe. All right. So if you have a free day, which I know that you don't ever,
2019.
2019
You
exactly.
want to schedule?
A free day to leave the city. Would you rather go to the coast or to the mountain? Which I realize
Oof.
maybe you have to say mountain.
Both. That's one of the
Both.
best parts about living in Portland.
You can.
You can do both.
You
I'm
can.
actually, my dad and my brothers live in New York, and I'm leaving next Wednesday to go see them for 4 days, and I am super excited.
Awesome.
So I'm gonna go as far east as I can.
It's about as far as you can go.
Yeah. Well, my mom lives in England, so I could go there.
Oh,
to
okay.
Keep going.
Okay.
And then make my way all the way back here.
Nice. Okay.
But I would have to say mountains. Not a big fan of sand, which is one of the reasons I love the Oregon coast. Is there's sand, but it's not California sand.
Right. It's not. It's not beach
Yeah.
tan sand.
Yeah. There's something about being, when I'm snowboarding or up in the mountains and being in the trees and knowing that there's no one around you. The beach towns are great and they're pretty empty, but they're not as empty as when you find yourself in an alpine lake.
Just lost in the wilderness. Yeah.
It's lost, but it's also the closest thing you can do to find yourself. I mean, it is the most isolatingly comfortable place when it's quiet. One of my celebrations for getting my shoulder back is I'm gonna get a kayak and I want to go
Oh, nice.
find a lake in the middle of nowhere in the middle of the night and just kind of
Just get lost.
just get lost.
Wow.
I love it.
That sounds very relaxing.
It's nice, right?
Yeah, totally.
So I just love
Totally.
camping too.
Yeah.
That's my thing.
So one of the things of the Oregon Brew Running series is we're about getting people active, and we've talked about a lot of your active things. Do you have just a go-to? A lot of things you mentioned are they take a bit more planning.
I
Do you
know.
have are you a runner? Are you a biker? Do you rollerblade? Do you have sort of a
All of the above.
act? Okay, you're just
I'm not as much of a
do
runner as I
everything.
used to be. I love hiking, and you can do that here, luckily, in a
Yeah.
day.
that's true. Just head up to Forest Park or
yeah.
Mount Tabor. Or,
Yeah, well, I think it's, again, don't quote me, but I think it's the largest urban park in the country.
It is. I do know that is true.
Right, see?
Yes.
So it helps my credibility from the other
Yeah.
things I've said. It's hard. So we're gonna get deep. You said you're gonna
Yes,
make
I
me cry.
told you we're gonna end on a deep.
A lot of the things I love to do, snowboarding, hiking, camping, being outdoors, it does take a full day or a full weekend. And owning a business has been really hard because I haven't been able to really engage in that. And I think that's one of the reasons I've kind of drawn myself to this community, is because I get to live vicariously through all these
Yeah.
adventures.
Or it can be part of your job. You can make it.
As soon as I get
You
some other
could. You
people
could
to take out
force-
the other.
yeah, exactly.
We need a bigger team to do that. But eventually it will. And that's kind of the goal. I love riding bikes. I play softball on Sundays,
Fun.
every Sunday, or used to. I will back.
You can do it with one arm.
Yeah, I'm a pitcher, so it doesn't really.
Yeah.
It's hard to.
Hey, remember Jim Abbott?
Yeah.
Angels pitcher. He only
Yeah.
had one arm.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Sort of.
Good luck today.
Yeah.
I don't know if that would really work as well, but.
Yeah, sorry. I digress.
Yeah, it's so. I think the other thing that I would say the adventures that I like to go on are the ones that I haven't done before, and so I like to have a lot of different new experiences. So anytime I can go out, and that's one of the reasons I want to create this community of people that I want to go climb. I've never outdoor rock climbed, so I Plant Granite, another plug. I go there a lot. I've climbed indoors. I've never gone outside. And
Really? Okay.
Yeah.
I've done it twice, and it's totally different. It's
It
crazy.
is.
It's kind of scary because there's something being in a gym where it just doesn't feel.
There's no foam mat. At the
Yeah,
bottom.
exactly.
And maybe a small one, the size.
Yeah, it could be an easier climb, but it's different.
So I to not answer your question, but answer your question.
It's okay.
I like doing a lot of things for the first time, and so that's one of the reasons I want to create a community where you can interact and meet new people that maybe have done it a lot and would be totally open to bringing you along or teaching you and expanding that community, because it's good for everyone.
Yeah, that's awesome. I love that answer. Maybe someday after the kids are a little bit older, I'll start embarking on some new adventures myself.
Or, like we said earlier, bring the kids.
Well, that's true, exactly. Well, my son he's 4. He's ready
to climb a mountain.
Like, yeah, I mean, we're doing more and more stuff together, so it's, I think, a new fun phase, and introducing to, I just bought him a sleeping bag.
Oh.
So we're gonna try to get out once this summer.
I still remember my Ninja Turtle sleeping bag.
Really?
Yeah.
Oh, this is I remember the brand, but it's a mummy bag.
Nice.
It's got it goes down to 30 degrees. So
yeah, mine didn't do that.
Yeah. Well, Ninja Turtles though. I mean, that's
but the Ninja
different
Turtles.
type of mummy power.
Exactly.
Something. Yeah. Well, Ben, thanks so much for chatting. I really appreciate this. Is there anything else we've covered a lot? Anything else that you would like us to know about you or Happy Mountain, or just kombucha in general?
Try it. Try them all.
I like it.
A lot of people have kind of wrote us off. Not us personally, but the kombucha world. And, whether it's our brand or other brands, find one that you like, try them all out, and be aware of what you're putting in your body. And go outside and be active.
Yeah. Enjoy it outside.
Yeah. And
like we are right now.
Exactly. This is, isn't that great that we...
Yeah, it's kind of perfect.
Tried to be indoors and we were forced outside.
Oh, so brutal.
And it worked out, and we get the smell of this food. But
I know it's kind of weird. I don't know how many food trucks around us, but it's all these different flavors mixing, and
it's great.
Kind of nothing. Yeah, so cool. Well, Ben, I'm gonna hop up and turn that off. But before I do, just want to remind you and all of you guys that you can run any of our upcoming events you can get $5 off with the code HMK5, which stands for Happy Mountain Kombucha. If you'd like to run for free, if there's any of those codes left, you can use HMK free, and you can join us for free sometime. So, Ben, thanks again.
Thanks.
I will see you later. All right. See you guys.